Hi everyone. Today we are going to um, today we're going to be talking about vector questions from paper one, the paper one module. So I hope that you guys have your paper one module ready. Okay, because today I'm going to be discussing some questions from there yang berkaitan dengan vector lah. And then after we finish our class today, I hope that you can answer the rest of the vector questions on your own. Okay, so let's see how many people are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people. Okay, it's actually only 4 people as I see. But no matter 4 or nobody, I'm still going to continue. Just remember, please put your name and your class in the live chat so that I can check for attendance. Especially those who are taking admits lah. Okay, under me. Okay, it's very important that you do this for your attendance. Okay, so we're going to start with this one. So please get ready your paper one modules. Okay, we are going to. Okay, first of all, I want you to take a look at the questions. Okay, at the questions that are involved lah. Okay, so in your module, there are altogether 2 questions, almost 2 questions per set. Okay, and this tells us a very important thing. When we go into SPM, okay, bila time mau jawab soalan SPM kan, we should expect about 2 questions. Okay, about 2 questions involving vectors. Okay, and so if you can see, set 1 is this question, set 2, this question, set 3, this question. So what you can do is you can take a screenshot of this. Okay, and then you can refer to your module later. But all these soalan-soalan yang saya bintang-bintangkan ini kan, these are the questions that I want to try to answer from now until 12:30 lah. Okay, we will stop at 12:30, but I will try to answer as many as I can. Because I feel that these questions are quite interesting. Some of them are never seen before, but some of them actually you have done. If you have finished the 8 questions that I asked you to do yesterday for the textbook questions, some of these questions actually you can do. Okay, so we're going to discuss this question. So jangan bimbang pasal itu star. The star just means that I'm going to answer these questions. Okay, but take a look that almost every set has 2 vector questions. Okay, except for set 4. Set 4 only has 1. Saya double check sudah, there's only 1 question involving vector directly lah. Okay, so in the SPM, you should expect this kind of numbers. Okay, and if you see, kalau kamu tengok betul-betul, yang dia punya kedudukan soalan itu kan tidak menentu itu. Okay, sometimes it can be at the end like this, 22, 23. Sometimes it can be 1 at the beginning and then 1 at the end. Okay, question 4 and then question 20. Or sometimes it can be right in the beginning itself, question 2 and question 3. So, don't waste time trying to figure out, soalan keberapa lah ini vector ni. Tidak. Okay, you should just expect to see about 1 or 2. Okay, usually 2 lah. Okay, look at all the 10 sets. Most of them have 2 vector questions. So you should be expecting to see 2 vector questions when you open any paper 1 paper lah. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, let's take a look at the first one. Set 2, question number 22, and after that we're going to go into set 2, question number 23. Why did I skip set 1? Because I think if you answer the textbook questions, you can answer this already. Okay, so saya akan teruskan dengan set 2, question 22 and set 2, question 23. So this is set 2, question 22. Okay, set 2, question 22. I'm going to change the pen. Okay, I'm going to give you some time to open to the question. Okay, while I take a drink of coffee. Okay, set 2, question 22. So, given that vector u, okay, tengok ini pun satu cara untuk menulis vektor, tapi kita tidak digalakkan untuk menulis begini. We still should write u and then with the cacing and there lah. Okay, where a is more than 0 and b is more than 0. Okay, just remember that a and b are positive numbers. Okay, then dia cakap find a unit vector. Okay, this is the main question. Find the unit vector parallel to you in terms of A and B. Okay, I'm going to switch this over a little bit so that you can see. Can you see the working? Is this better? Okay. So you are given. Okay, you are given vector U. It is A and B. Okay, in that sense, vector U is A and B, or I can say this as AI plus BJ. Okay, either one also can. Okay, so the question is find the vector, the unit vector. Okay, remember unit vector. There's always two steps. Okay, the first step is find the magnitude, and then the second one is divide the original with the magnitude. Okay, so the magnitude, okay, the magnitude is take this number and this number, then we do like Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so it is A squared plus B squared, then B square root. Okay, so we always do this first lah. Okay, find the magnitude, and then after that, uh, we divide the vector with the magnitude. Okay, so when we divide the vector, okay, then we change the unit vector is U vector and then with the cap. Remember, okay, the unit unit vector always has the cap. Okay, on top of it. Okay, equals to AI plus BJ, divide the whole thing by square root of A squared plus B squared. Okay, and that's our answer. That's our final answer. Done. Okay, or if you want, you can split it up. Okay, so that it looks a little bit more cleaner. Okay, or A over square root of A squared plus B squared I plus B over square root of A squared plus B squared J. Like that. Okay, another alternative. Now, the reason why I say this is because our original vector is given in a matrix form. Okay, so my suggestion for you is, I know it's a 2-mark question now. This is actually technically correct. Okay, even this is technically correct already. Okay, but my suggestion is to make your answer nicer. Okay, and to make sure that in case you get anything wrong, at least you follow the guidelines. And the guidelines given is at the beginning, the vector is given this way. Okay, so we should ideally write our unit vector in this way as well, which is unit vector of U equals to 1 over square root of A squared plus B squared, and then vector vector AI. So this is how we will write it. Okay, I'm going to change this over. Okay, this is how we will write this. Okay, so that it looks like this shape. Okay, and that's the point of this. Okay, so actually this, to me, this is okay. But since the original question gives you in this form of vector, I would suggest that you use this form as well, okay, to answer. But basically the step is still the same. Find the magnitude, divide the original vector with the magnitude itself. Okay, I know half of my face is hidden, but never mind. Let's just continue. Okay, so this is the working now. Okay, that I want to show you for question number 22. Okay, moving on to question number 23. Okay, question 23. Okay, this is a little bit tricky, but we've seen this before. Okay, the position vectors of 3 points A, B, C relative to an origin O are 3i plus j, 5i minus 2j, and then so on and so forth. And then after that, you're given that A, B, C are collinear. Okay, now this is a very important line relative to the origin O, which means that all these 3 vectors, we can actually position them, okay, position them in a line since they are all collinear. We saw this yesterday, the word collinear. Okay, and then of course the question will be find the value of find the value of lambda. Okay, this sign, this here sign here is called lambda. Okay, and then the ratio. Okay, nisbah AB kepada BC. Okay, so let's take a look at this question and see how. Okay, so first of all, the important thing that you are given is that A, B, and C are collinear. Okay, this one very easy. If they are collinear, okay, and you don't have to prove it. Okay, if they are collinear, let's put them all in one line and let's put them A, and put them B, put them C. Of course, dia memang ada ratio lah. Okay, and then since they're all okay, starting from the origin point now, we saw this triangle yesterday in the textbook. Okay, this triangle. So everyone starts from this point origin. Therefore, I can say, that every vector here, OA, OB, OC, okay, there is a vector like OA, vector OB, and then vector OC. Now, yesterday when we were talking about collinear, okay, we said that if these three are collinear, therefore I can say that HAB, okay, H vector AB, okay, equals to K vector BC, because there are dua syarat for collinear. The first syarat is they must be parallel, and this is the parallel sentence. Secondly, they must both have a common point, and we're going to choose B as our common point. Okay, since we find that B is the center and usually B is the center. Okay, so we find B as a common point. Okay, so our task now, kita punya tugas sekarang is to find vector AB and vector BC. Okay, and that's pretty normal lah. Okay, so vector AB, okay, vector AB is vector AO to OB. Okay, and then secondly, we're going to do vector BC. Okay, vector BC is vector BO plus OC. Okay, we're going to use all the information that we have lah. Okay, so we are given the information that OA is this, OB is this, OC is this. Let me see, what's OA again? Okay, OA is, 3i plus j. OB is 5i minus 2j. OC is lambda I. Okay, this is the big question now. Lambda I minus 60. So don't worry about this. Okay, don't worry about where is lambda and yada yada yada. But we're going to continue. Okay, so we are given these three vectors. Kita masukkan lah. Now, the first one is vector AB. The first one is vector AB. We want to find AO plus OB. But we are given OA saja. But we remember, if we change the direction of the end-to-end points, kita tukar the direction. So 3i plus j will become minus 3i minus j. Okay, minus 3i minus j. Then plus OB plus 5i minus j. Okay, this is pretty okay lah. Okay, sorry, I'm going to. Okay. Minus 3i minus j because we change the direction AO. And then OB kita ambil sedia. Okay, daripada sini. So this will give you 2i minus 3j. Okay, let's leave it at that first one, 2i minus 3j. Okay, second one is a little bit more difficult, but we're going to do it anyway. BO, since OB is 5i minus 2j, okay, BO is going to be the balik. So it's going to be negative 5i plus 2j. We change all the signs. Okay, plus OC will be lambda I minus 6j. Okay, like this. And then, okay, let's settle this j first. So j is 2, kalau 6 will be minus 4j. Okay, now the problem comes with this. What is minus 5i plus lambda I? We cannot really do anything much with this. So what we can do is we can factorize out the I. And this is a very important skill. We always need to factorize out so that there's only two terms. There's one term with the I and then one term with the J. Okay, jangan complicate matters. So if I factorize out the I, what am I left with? Minus 5 plus lambda. Okay, so this is the second step. Okay, now that we have AB and BC, okay, in this form, okay, let's put these two into here. Oh, sorry. Okay, let's put this two into here. HA equals to KBC. Okay, it's going to look very complicated, okay, but we are still holding on to that same principle. Okay, whenever you see parallel lines, we start with this line first. Okay, then we substitute it. So we have H, and then after that, this will be 2I minus 3J. Okay, equals to K, and then BC, this super long thing over here. Okay, negative 5 plus lambda I minus 4J. Like that. Okay, then after that, we multiply the H and the K in. Okay, don't worry, just multiply it in. Okay, it's not this one. So this will be 2HI minus 3HJ equals to, I'm going to leave this as it is, K multiplied by negative 5 plus lambda I minus 4KJ. Okay, at this point, you all must be like, example. Don't worry, once we answer this question, both questions will be answered simultaneously. That's why it's a 4-mark question. Okay, they're not dual. Okay, it's 3-1 actually. Now, let me continue from here. So now we get this super looks complicated. There's too many letters. Ada H, ada I, ada J, ada K. Okay, kalau kita sambung lagi ada L, M, N, O, I don't know now. Okay, but this is the important thing. Once you come to this step, okay, never move it across. Okay, we do this step, what we call is we equate the vectors. Since they are both, related by the tanda sama dengan, okay, I'm going to equate both vectors and I'm going to say that the I vectors are equal and the J vectors are equal. Okay, so if you look at the I vectors, okay, if you look at the I vectors, 2H equals to K times negative 5 plus lambda. Okay, 2H equals to K times negative 5 plus lambda. Okay, that's the first one. If I look at the J vectors, okay, the J vectors, I'll get minus 3H equals to minus 4K. Oh, sorry. Okay. Minus 3H equals to minus 4K. Okay, I think we've seen enough of this question, so I'm just going to show this first. Okay, sorry. Okay, so minus 3H equals to minus 4K. Okay, so what we can do now is we can get the term of H over K. Okay, so H over K equals to negative 4 over negative 3. Otherwise, H over K equals to 4 over 3. I'm going to use this first. Okay, and then I'm going to substitute this into here. Okay, if I bring the K across, I will get 2H over K equals to negative 5 plus lambda. H over K is 4 over 3. Okay, so 2 times 4 over 3 equals to negative 5 plus lambda. And then when you come to this point, you can actually find lambda. Okay, you move across, you will get lambda equals to 23 over 3. Okay, this is what you will get as your final answer. Okay, but the point is this, when you come to this section, we've never run away. Okay, kita belum lagi lari daripada the basic concept, which is whenever you see parallel lines, do this. Okay, I know it looks complicated, but what you can do, and this is the good thing about vectors, is that you can equate the I vectors and you can equate the J vectors because of the power of the equal sign. Okay, that's how much power the equal sign have. Don't just simply write equals. Okay, got a lot of power one. Okay, it helps us to come up with this so that we can get this. Okay, now how do I answer the second question? The second question is AB to BC. Okay, I'm going to use this. So once you get this answer, okay, I'm going to rub this section off again. Okay, actually, you've already inadvertently answered this question because HAB equals to KBC. So since the question asked me for AB to BC, okay, let me show you. Okay, look at the question. AB to BC. Okay, the nisbah, the ratio of AB to BC. So what I can do is I can shift this around. AB to BC equals to K over H. Now, where have we seen this K over H before? Okay, it's right over here that you have done sebelum ini. If h over k is 4 over 3, therefore k over h is 3 over 4. And that's your final answer. Okay, which is why I said that this singular line over here actually answers the entire question for you. But you must remember that whenever you see collinear parallel lines, okay, this sentence must come to mind. Okay. Well, if it's collinear, especially if it's collinear, then they must have a common point lah. Okay, mesti ada titik yang sama. But if it is parallel, this h and k must be there. Okay, hi equals to kj, contohnya lah. Okay, it must be there. Okay, because that's the mark of a parallel vector, the mark of two parallel vectors. Okay, so I'm going to give you some time to actually, I don't need to give you time. You can always pause the video later after this live stream, okay, and copy this on your own. But understand this, okay, that the HAB equals to KBC is the singular most important line. And we get it now because the question says that, you know, these three are collinear. It's a very important piece of information, okay, that you are always needed to know. Okay, so that you know how to answer this question. Okay, all right, I'm going to go into the next question. The next question is from set 3. Okay, set 3, question 12. Okay, I'm going to give you some time to find the question. Okay, set 3, question 12. This is from the second subtopic. This is from the second subtopic of this chapter. Okay, subtopic 4.2. So you're given diagram 3 shows the triangle of ADF. So you have this ADF over here. Points B and E are the midpoint, okay, of AC and DF. So that means I can say that this long and this long is the same. Okay, and then this long and this long is the same. Okay, notice that it doesn't say anything about point C. It doesn't say that point C is the midpoint of A and D. It doesn't. Okay, you cannot assume that, please. Okay, as I said, you must follow the information given in the question. Only points B and E are the midpoint of AC and DF. Okay, they never say anything about point C. A grave mistake to make, okay, would be if you made it the midpoint. It may be the midpoint, I don't know, but it doesn't specifically say in the question. So, you know, don't assume that it is unless the question says so. Okay, so it is given that AF, okay, AF over here is vector P. Okay, I'm going to write out as much as I can here. Okay, and I would say that it's a good practice that if I give you information, put all the information in the diagram, because the diagram will help you to see. Okay, DF is 2Q. Okay, and this is this direction, people, D to F. Now, there is 2 pieces of information that they're not giving you, but we can surmise from this. Kalau D sampai F adalah 2Q, I can say that DE, okay, DE, oh sorry, I should be using this mouse. Okay, DE is actually Q, because it's half, and also the same thing, EF is also Q. Okay, this is hidden information that you need to know okay, when we answer this. Okay, then they cakap AB is 1 over 4 AD. Now, this is the kicker information. If AB is 1 over 4 of AD, means that A and C, C and D is also the same length. C is the midpoint. Okay, notice how this question tells you the midpoint of D and E first, but it doesn't specifically tell you because they want you to understand from this line. AB is 1 over 4. So, kalau sini 1 over 4, sini 1 over 4 sudah kan, tinggal berapa lagi? Tinggal half bahkan. Half means is the same length, no? A to C and C to D is also the same length. So this one, okay, guys, is actually also the midpoint. Okay, the question is express BE. Okay, BE in terms of P and Q. So now we need to strategize now. We need to strategize and see how do we find this dumb vector over here. There are many ways. Okay, either BA plus AF plus FE. That's one way. Okay, let me highlight to you lah. Okay, one way is BA to AF to FE. Okay, we need to find three vectors. What is the other way? Okay, the other way is by going the other way around lah. Okay, the other way around, let me change color. Let's use blue. I can use BD plus DE. Okay, so both ways will give you from B to E, but there's only one way that actually has less one vector, and I would say that if it is less one vector, I would use it. Okay, but the good thing is they've already given you AB. Look at this information. AB is 1 over 4 AD. Okay, so actually, although this is a 3-step thing, but I would rather do this because I already have these two information. Tinggal saya cari ini lagi. Okay, so how much is AB? Okay, so we need to start from there. Okay, so let's start from there. Let me see. Okay, so we have, okay, we're going to start with AB, okay, is 1 over 4 AD. Okay, the problem now is, I don't know what's AD. So if you don't know what's AD, you have to find AD first. Okay, if you look at the question, AD, AD is AF plus FD because we have these two. Sorry, AE, AF plus FD. Okay, we always use the triangle law for this. So let's go. AD is AF plus FD. And we have AF. Okay, AF is P. Plus, what about FD now? Okay, which is why the information that we got just now is very important. FD is not 2Q. DF is 2Q, but FD is negative 2Q. Oh, sorry. It's negative 2Q, which will give you P minus 2Q. Okay, that's the first one. So then we put this into here. So AD equals to 1 over 4 P minus 2Q. Okay, and that's how we get AB. Okay, did I get AB lah? Okay, so once I have AB, then I can do everything already. Okay, if I want to find, the question is find BE bahkan. Correct, find BE. Okay, so I'm going to go the long way around now. BE equals to BA plus AF plus FE. Okay, the three vectors are the three yellow vectors that we saw over here. Okay, let me see. The three yellow vectors is BA plus AF plus FE. Okay, and we are given that BA is actually the terbalik of this. So negative 1 over 4 P minus 2Q. Okay, you change this one only, you change everything already. So don't write this, don't change the sign inside this one. Just change the tanda in front. Okay. AF, if you already find, is actually plus P. Okay, and then FE is actually negative Q. Okay, remember that EF we say is Q. Okay, take a look. EF is actually Q. So FE is the balik, negative Q, which is why I write it this way. Oh, okay, which is why I write it this way, plus negative Q, because FE is negative Q. Okay, so once you do, okay, multiply this in, okay, and then minus and plus all the like vectors, okay, your final answer should be 3 over 4P minus half Q. Okay, and this is also another very popular form of question. Okay, they give you a diagram, they give you some information, and then they expect you to find the rest of the information on your own. Okay, this is a very normal process. Paper 1 will have asked, paper 2 also will ask. Okay, so we need to do more practice on these kind of questions now. Okay, so the rest of the questions that I didn't tanda in the first slide that you saw just now, some of these questions are there. Okay, so give it a try, give it a go. If you have any questions, okay, definitely you can always ask me. Okay, so sorry, I'm gonna give you some time to copy out while I show my ugly head. All right, so let me see. So the next question, okay, is set 4, question 21. Okay, set 4, question 21. I'm going to leave this here. Okay, I'm going to give you some time again to look at the question. Set 4, question 21. I also look for the question. Okay, set 4, question 21. So it says that diagram A shows vectors PQ and AB given that, okay, given this, 2n minus 1 PQ equals to m plus n minus 2 AB, where m is constant. Okay, m and n are not constant. Okay, find the value of m and n. Now, take a look at these two vectors, people. Okay, take a look at these two vectors. And actually, this is a very interesting question. I like this question because the information is given in the diagram. Okay, and as you can see, PQ and AB are non-parallel vectors. Okay. And we saw this yesterday when I was discussing this, when we were talking about parallel and non-parallel vectors. I say if they are non-parallel vectors, but they are the equal, look at this, they are equal. Sudah diberi sebagai equal. They are equal, but they're non-parallel. So how can this be? This can only be if 2n minus 1 is equals to 0. And m plus n minus 2 is equals to 0. Okay, which is why I like this question a lot. Because the information is given in the diagram. Look at these two vectors. It is non-parallel. Sangat ketara yang dia tidak selari. Okay, tapi even if it is non-parallel, this question says equal, dia ada equal di sini. So it can only be this way if 2n minus 1 equals to 0, if this one equals to 0, and this one equals to 0. Then only it's correct. Okay, so when you do this, then you can find the value of m and n. Okay, I'm just going to give you the answer. N, okay, n is half. Okay, you can do this later. M equals to 3 over 2. Okay, but again, like I said, the point is this. I want to show you that, these are two non-parallel lines, tapi equal. Then you must remember again, non-parallel lines but equal can only happen if the constant is 0. Okay, kalau dalam bracket-bracket di depan semua ini kosong, baru dia boleh terjadi begitu. Okay, which is why it's a 2-mark question because it's a very simple one. Okay, now, given that UV, okay, this is a totally different question from this, tiada kaitan dengan ini. Okay, given that vector UV is m minus 4 and negative 5 is parallel to the y-axis. Okay, find the value of m. Now, parallel to the y-axis, okay, let me draw this for you. Okay, so this is the y-axis. Okay, over here. So for vector UV to be parallel to y-axis, begini, dia ada vertical sahaja. Okay, now we have studied this form the other day. Okay, I'm going to use the whiteboard. I think it's a bit easier. Now, if you remember the matrix format, okay, the matrix format, let's say this is A and this is B, or otherwise known as AI plus BJ. Sorry. Okay. Now, this matrix format, this matrix format, okay, tells you yang coordinate A ni kan, how many steps left, right. Okay, and then this one is how many steps up and down. Okay, but now you're given that this vector UV, okay, this is Y, this is X, this vector UV, okay, is parallel to the y-axis. That means there's no left and right, no? There's only up and down. Okay, so if that is so, okay, if there's no left and right, okay, which means that our top number here must be equal to 0, which means that m minus 4 must be something also. Okay, because of this, okay, parallel to y-axis. Kalau parallel to y-axis, the top matrix over here, okay, the top element over here must be equal to 0. And let's take a lesson from this now. If the question says parallel to x-axis, okay, it means that the bottom number is 0. Okay, this is 0. P equals to 0. If parallel to y-axis, A equals to 0. Okay, so please take this down now. Note this down, sorry. Please note this down now. Okay, that actually, that's why actually it's a simple question. 2 marks only. Okay, because it requires us to understand, okay, memerlukan kita memahami bahawa, oh, okay, if it is parallel to the y-axis, then the top number must be 0 because there's no left, right. Kamu punya vector naik turun saja. So there's no horizontal component to it. Okay, but if it is parallel to x-axis, okay, this way, then now there's no up and down. It's just going left and right. If it's just going left and right, if your vector is going left and right, then there's no vertical component. So B must be equal to 0. Okay, if you remember this, then you can answer quite a number of questions. Okay, but you of course you have to remember lah. Okay, this is not formula. Mesti kena ingat ni, all these concepts. Okay, parallel to y-axis, the top number 0. Parallel to x-axis, the bottom number is 0. Okay, so m minus 4 equals to 0. I'm sure you can figure out what m is lah. Okay, without me having to tell you. All right. Okay, next question. Let's go. Next question is taken from, let's see. Next question is taken from set number 5. Okay, question number 14. Okay, giving you some time to open the question. Set number 5, question number 14. This is a interesting question. Okay, it is given that OP equals to 3A plus B, OQ is 2 and then A minus B, and then OR is 4A plus 4B. Okay, in this way lah. So again, everybody take a look. Everything starts with O, origin, O, origin, O, origin. Okay, we assume it's origin lah. Okay, so the question is find the relation between QR and PQ. Okay, so before we come to the relation, we need to find the vector first. Okay, we need to find vector QR. Okay, and we also need to find vector PQ. But we are given everything dalam bentuk O. Okay, because there's O over here. So let's make the relation. Sorry, let's make the equation first. QR equals to QO plus OR. Okay, this is the first one. Okay, and can I get QO? I can, because this is OQ. Okay, now remember, if there's a bracket in front, then don't bother with the inside, just letak tanda tolak di depan saja. Then you're done. Okay, so QO is minus 2A minus B. Okay, leave this alone, guys. Okay, and then OR is here lah, 4A plus 4B. So you can find this. Okay, PQ pula is PO. Okay, PO plus OR. Okay, OR is given over here, so no problem. Okay, and then OP is 3A plus B, so 3A plus B. But since this is PO, we have to change every sign over here. So it's minus 3A minus B. Yeah, minus 3A minus B. Okay, then you will get this lah. Okay, over here. So what you will find is that, is that once you've done those two equations, you will get, oh dear. Oh, Okay, I guess we have to do this manually because my marking scheme doesn't show me much. Okay, QR equals to QO plus OR. Okay, and PQ equals to PO plus OQ. Okay, QO is negative 2A minus B. Okay, plus OR is 4A 4B. Okay, PO is minus 3A minus B plus OQ is 2A minus B. Okay, so this is what we get lah. Okay, after we've done all this nonsense, we've got all this. Okay, I'm going to simplify it because I only want two terms. Okay, at the end of the day, we always want two terms first. Okay, so I'm going to do this minus 2A plus 2B plus 4A plus 4B. Okay, so minus 2 plus 4 will be 2A, this will be plus 6B. Okay, leave it at it first. Secondly, this one, minus 3A minus B plus 2A minus 2B. Okay, going to multiply it all in. Then simplify it so that I only get two terms. Okay, we never run away from this. Minus 3 plus 2 is A. Sorry, minus A, minus B minus 2B is minus 3B. Okay, now in order for us to find the relation okay, between these two, okay, it is almost the same step as trying to prove that they are parallel. If you can factorize out okay, a certain number and get the same number in between, okay, then we can figure out this one already. So let's say okay, 2 and 6, I can factorize out 2. Okay, so I'll get A plus 3B. Okay, this is what I will get. What about this one? Okay, if I really want to find the relation, I have to find this in terms of A plus 3B. So the logical will be take out negative 1. Okay, this will be A plus 3B. Because negative 1 times A will be negative A, negative 1 times 3B will be negative B. And then we find that, okay, there's a way for us to do this already. Okay, which is, okay, let me put this down, PQ divided by QR. Okay, is 2 divided by negative 1. Okay, I just take the numbers now because, oh, sorry, PQ is negative 1, negative 1 over 2. Okay, so if then of course there's many ways to do this lah. Let me just double check. Okay, there's many ways to do this. Either I can bring it across or I can sum, but if I bring it across, I will get PQ equals to negative half, okay, QR. Okay, this is one form of answer. Okay, otherwise, if not, if I don't want this half, okay, what I can do is QR, okay, equals to negative 2PQ. Either one also can lah. Okay, mana-mana pun boleh. Okay, either one or the second form. One of these answers and either way is fine. As long as you can show me the relation. There is a certain number that relates the two of them. Okay, and interestingly enough, these 3 points are also collinear. Okay, since they are parallel, number 1, and since they are able to have a same common point. Okay, so they're actually not just parallel, they are also collinear. Okay, but that's not the relation. The relationship yang kita mau ini. Okay, negative 2PQ equals to QR. Okay, or QR equals to, PQ equals to negative half of QR. Okay, and that's how you find the relation between these two things. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so the question is, does vector QR and PQ have the same direction? Okay, now, then of course give your reason now. Okay, the answer obviously, okay, the answer obviously is no. Okay, no because, okay, take a look, no because they are related by this negative sign. Okay, so they are the same line. Okay, they could be collinear. Okay, but their vectors are different. The direction is different. because one is positive and one is negative. PQ is positive, QR is negative, or the other way. PQ is negative, QR is positive. Okay, so the answer for that is no, because the value of the constant is negative. Okay, the value of the constant is negative. You know, because okay, it's -2 or -12 depending on which answer you use. Okay, but asalkan as long as you can prove that the constant value is negative, then definitely the two vectors, although they are parallel, but they are although they are like parallel, but they are not going in the same direction. Okay, they could be collinear, but they could be collinear meeting towards one another. Okay, so the direction now is a very important thing. Okay, so I purposely chose this question, okay, because I wanted to show this part. Give reason for your answer, people, is not... Give reason for your answer should be written in a sentence form, in a simple sentence. Okay, please don't answer with things like, because it's like that. Okay, that's not an answer that is acceptable. Okay, I think as mathematicians, we also need to know how to explain and how to justify our statements. Okay, bukan main cakap, begitulah dia punya jawapan tu, macam tu lah. Okay, please, cannot be like that. Okay, because the question is very, very specific. Give your reason. Okay, so it must be a valid reason. Not just suka hati je kita pakai reason yang kita suka. Okay, all right. Let's go on to our next question. Okay, set 6 question number 2. Okay, set 6 question number 2. Giving you some time to turn over to the page. This is also a, pretty brainless question because it's only 2 marks. Okay, but it reminds us of the thing that we have. Okay, now once you have come to this question, given a point yada yada and yada yada, it's this one. Express P in terms of Q if AB is parallel to the y-axis. Okay, now before you do anything, okay, let's find the vector AB first. Vector AB is vector AO, okay, plus OB. Okay, since I'm given these 2 points, I can say that vector OA, okay, is, I'm going to use matrix, okay, so that it's easy, P and 3P. Okay, so vector AO, okay, yang kita mahu ini adalah terbalik lah. Okay, negative P, negative 3P. Okay, and then vector OB, okay, vector OB is actually 3Q minus 2 and Q minus 9, like this. Okay, 3Q minus 2, Q minus 9. Okay, then I can find this vector AO plus vector OB. Okay, to get vector AB. Okay, then only you can say that it's parallel to the y-axis. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so vector AO, plus OB this particular normal vector AB. So vector AO is minus P minus 3P, minus P minus 3P. Sorry, I'm writing it very small, right? Sorry. Okay, minus P and minus 3P, and then vector OB is 3Q minus 2 and Q minus 9. Q minus 9. Okay, so we plus it all together, we get minus P plus 3Q minus 2. And these are all plus together, minus 3P plus Q minus 9. Okay, that's what we should get lah. Okay, now the question is, express P, okay, express P in terms of Q. Okay, I'm going to show you back the question. Okay, express P in terms of Q, okay, if the vector over here is parallel to the y-axis. Now we have seen this one, parallel to the y-axis means what? Parallel to y-axis means the top component here, okay, must be 0. Okay, parallel y-axis means the top component here, there's no left right now. Okay, so the top component here must be equal to 0. So negative p plus 3q minus 2 is equals to 0. Then you can express p in terms of q. Express p in terms of q means at the final day, I want the answer p equals to yada 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 yada. Okay, so we will get that actually p equals to 3q minus 2. And that's our final answer. Okay, but the point is this now, how do I get this? It's because ini adalah parallel to y-axis. Okay, parallel to y-axis, then you get this one, p plus 3q minus 2 equals to 0. And that's the most important thing. Okay, that's the most important, but we've just discussed this in the previous two questions, so I hope you remember this. Okay, but mau tidak mau, this skill okay, of finding the vector is still the more important skill. Okay, it needs to be learned. Okay, I hope this gives you a overview of what you can do. Okay. Oh, sorry. I'm going to look at the next question. Okay, next question is set 6 question 3. Wait, I don't think it's set 6 question 3. Oh yeah, set 6 question 3. Okay, this is a 4-mark question. It's going to take a little bit of a while. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So diagram 2 shows a trapezium A, B, C, D. Okay, let's mark down everything that we have given. AD is vector A. Okay, so we're given this as vector A. AB, all this one, okay, is vector B. Okay, from A to B. Now, dia bagi 3AB equals to 5BC. Okay, let's rewrite this. 3AB, okay, equals to 5DC. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this as this. So AB, sorry, DC, DC equals to 3AB and saya bahagi 5. And since I know that vector AB is vector B, so that means DC is actually 3 over 5 vector B. Like this, DC. So I'm going to write this down here. 3 over 5 vector B. Okay, and this is what we get from this very important piece of information. 3AB equals to 5DC. Okay, so I miss, oh, okay, fine. Since this is B, this is 3 over 5B. Okay, saya ubah-ubah this position. Point F is the midpoint. Okay, so middle means this long and this long is the same. Okay, AE and EB is M nisbah N. Okay, and we don't know what the nisbah yet is lah. Okay, then lastly, if AD is parallel to point EF, so these two are parallel. Okay, there's many information. Okay, AD and EF is parallel. Okay, express M in terms of N. Okay, so there. Am I back? Am I back? Okay, sorry. I lost connection for a while there. Okay, if there are 3 levels to vector type questions, this would be a level 2 question. So far, we've been looking at only level 1 questions. This would be a level 2 question. Okay, because it requires a little bit of strategizing. Apa yang kita mau buat sebenarnya? The question is express M in terms of N. But it doesn't tell you, okay, it doesn't tell you what to look for. Okay, except that this one, if line AD is parallel to line EF. Okay, that's it. AD and EF. 2 jump. Okay, so I think the logical point to start is we start with EF lah. Okay, we find the vector of EF first. Okay, but in order for us to find the vector EF, it has to be vector EA plus AF. I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, vector EA plus vector AF. Okay, so I'm going to start from there. Vector EA plus vector AF. Okay, I'm not going to draw the diagram here because you have the diagram there. So I'm just going to start with the line and then we'll see how it goes now. Okay, so vector EF is EA plus AF. Okay, now, so there are a couple of things that we need to do here first. We have to first find the vector EA. Okay, now you are given that this is A, and this is E, and this is B. And the whole thing is vector B, here is M, and here is N. Okay, let me show this. The whole thing is vector B, this is M, this is N. So vector AE, okay, vector AE will be vector M over M plus N, vector B. Okay, because we only want this ratio. Okay, this ratio over M plus N, vector B. Okay, will give you vector AE. So vector EA, okay, will be negative M over M plus N, vector B. Will be the other way around. Okay. So if you're lost, okay, kalau kamu sesat, kenapa ini M over M plus N? Okay, think of it in terms of, let's say this one whole long line, and then this one is 2 parts, and then this one is 3 parts. Okay, these 2 parts is 3 parts. I only want to find out, let's call it E. I only want to find out this one. So this is 2 over 5 AB. Okay, 2 out of the whole thing, 5. Okay, 2 out of 5, the whole thing. Okay, because 5 is AB. Okay, so in that way, also the same. AE is M2 over M plus N, 5 of the whole thing. Okay, and the whole thing we know is vector B. Okay, so that's vector EA, which you can substitute in here in a while. Oh, actually we can do it now. Okay, so minus N over M plus N, vector B. Okay, plus, okay, vector AF is now our next problem. Okay, if we take a look at this one, okay, vector A to F is actually halfway of vector A to C. Okay, but we can find vector A to C because we already have AD plus BC, which is why all this information that I drew down here is all useful. No? AD plus BC, okay, will give you AC. Then you can see half in order to find vector AF. Okay, so we're gonna, we're gonna do this again. So our quest now is to find vector AF. Okay, the vector AF is half of vector AC. Okay, because they are halfway point. And then vector AC is actually AD plus BC. And you have already found vector AD. I mean, not found, they've already given to you. Vector AD is vector A. So half of vector A plus DC is 3 over 5 B. Okay, which we have established much earlier before this, 3 over 5 B. Okay, so I'm done. I have this already. So I can put this in here. So half times A plus 3 over 5 B. Okay. Now, then if you take a look at the question, okay, it says that if AD is parallel to the line EF, okay, AD and EF, okay, are parallel. Now that we have EF, okay, it's parallel. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Okay, AD is point A. So AD and EF are parallel, but since they are parallel, oh sorry. Okay. AD and EF are parallel. Sorry. Okay. If AD and EF are parallel, okay, I'm going to put AD is letter A. EF is yada. It's so long. Okay, I'm going to write half A plus, sorry, I shouldn't be writing this. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger first, so that's easier for us to see. Okay, so minus m over m plus nb, okay, plus half a, multiply this in will be plus 3 over 10b. Okay, I'm going to combine all this, half a, okay, plus a, minus m over n plus n plus 3 over 10, the whole thing vector b. Okay, I know it looks very bad. Okay, don't worry about this. But now that we find that since vector AB, okay, is parallel, is parallel to vector EF, okay, and AD is only vector A, one thing only. Okay, sorry. Okay, AD is only vector A. Now notice that AD has no B component in it. It only has an A component. Okay, but they are both parallel. So since they are both parallel, the only way that this can happen is that the B component is 0. Okay, this whole thing equals to 0. So minus m over m plus n plus 3 over 10 equals to 0. Since they're both parallel, think of AD, there's no B component. Okay, there's no B component in AD. So if there's no B component AD, and since they're both parallel, that means logically, this number over here must be equal to 0. Okay, then you can move this around, and you can finally, you can move this around, and you can finally express m in terms of n. Okay, the final answer will be m equals to 3 over 7. Okay, this is the final answer. Okay. Now the reason why I call this the reason why I say this is a level 2 question is because actually the only difficult part is coming up with this. Okay, ini saja yang susah. Okay, and even then it's actually not that difficult. It's just complicated because of the m plus n. Okay, but actually the rest of it it just requires you to understand that if two lines are parallel, there must be an A and B component. But since there's no B component in vector AD, okay, vector AD, there's only A component, small letter A. Okay, which means that in vector EF, okay, this component must be equal to 0. Because there should be no B component, okay, in vector EF, since they're both parallel. Okay. So yeah, baru level 2 question. Yeah, because all the level 3 questions are in paper 2. Okay, which we won't do today. We'll do on Friday, our next class. Okay, Friday. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let me take a look at the next question first. Let me see. Okay. There are only 3 more questions, and I think I will do all 3. Okay, since we got a little bit more time. So, yeah, just bertahan. Okay, bertahan. Okay, the next question is question 7. Set 7, question 12. Okay, turn over to set 7, question number 12. Okay, now diagram 3 shows a quadrilateral PQRS, okay, such that PS, okay, PS is over here, P to S, okay, this is V minus 1 vector X, okay, U. Okay, then SR over here is W and Y. Okay, and then QR is W and X. Okay, notice that it doesn't say anything else, but since it is a quadrilateral, it doesn't tell us what kind of quadrilateral. Okay, so I don't know whether PS and QR are actually parallel. It doesn't tell me. Okay, so don't assume that it's parallel. Okay, just because you see it looks like parallel doesn't mean it's parallel. Okay, now express PQ, P to Q in terms of V, W, X, and Y. Oh, this is very easy. P to Q is PS plus SR plus RQ. But remember, RQ is the terbalik, QR is WX. Okay, so our final answer must have minus WX lah. Okay, I'm going to leave this for you to do, but this one, if PQ equals to, if PQ is yada, and W equals to half, okay, they've already given you all this, find the value of V. Actually, this is a pretty simple question. All you have to do is just substitute saja. Yeah, okay, all you have to do is just substitute. Okay, and then you will find the answer is V equals to 3 over 2. Okay, I'm not really going to answer this question. I just want to show you that the reason why I chose this question is because it is very easy for us to assume that PS and QR are parallel, which they are not. Okay, so actually the question is pretty simple. Okay, if they already given you PQ and you have already found PQ, kasih sama aja. Okay, kasih sama, then you can find the value of P. Okay, samakan this PQ and samakan the PQ that you find in question A. Okay, make it equal. Since they're both equal, okay, and then after that you find the value of P. Can. Okay, use the power of the equal sign. Okay, don't move anything across. Just kasih sama saja dia punya. Okay, but the point of this question is to show you this lah. Okay, the quadrilateral doesn't mean that these two are parallel. Okay, it looks parallel, but if they don't say in the question, please remember that you should not be making assumptions. Okay, just because the drawing looks like that means it's true. Not necessary. Okay, please be very careful with these kind of questions. Okay, now this next question is, like I said okay, is one of the more popular type of questions involving vector, which actually is not that difficult lah. It looks difficult, it looks complicated, and it's like, apa ni? Belum pernah belajar tapi actually it's not that difficult. Okay, it's set 8 question 20. Oh, sorry. Is it question 20? Yeah, it should be question 20. Hold on. Okay, set 8 question 20. So diagram 20 shows a bomb exploded into 4 segments. Okay, RSTU, pop, 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 pop. Okay, in which each momentum is represented by a vector. Okay, if you don't know what is a momentum, doesn't matter, don't worry about it. But in science form 5, even in science yang class AC, you should know this. Okay, momentum. Later nanti your teacher will teach you. Now, based on the principle of physics, the sum of all momentum vectors is a 0 vector. Okay, so this is a very important thing. Okay, so this plus this plus this plus this equals to 0. Okay, find the momentum vector for fragment S, this one, in terms of I and J. So the strategy to do this will be everything, all of this equals to 0. This plus whatever this I and J is, okay, is equals to 0. So if since this one we don't know, okay, what you can do is you can write this as AI, okay, plus BJ. Okay, so this plus this plus this plus this, okay, will be equals to 0. Okay, when you have simplified this, you'll get something I, okay, plus something J, okay, equals to 0. And since the momentum of all vectors is 0, therefore this number here is 0, this number here is 0, then you can find fragment S, okay, in terms of I and J. Can one? Okay, all you have to do is just kasih sama dengan 0. And then calculate the unit vector. Okay, unit vector is the same for the fragment S. Once you have the momentum of S, the same thing. In order to find unit vector, okay, it's the same steps. Find the magnitude, then divide the vector by the magnitude. Okay, I will give you the answer to this question where I seem to have lost my answers. I will give you the answer to this question later in your group. Okay, So question 20 this one. But actually this is a very simple question. This question is even more difficult, okay, than this question. Okay, this question only looks difficult because it is not routine. This is what we call soalan bukan routine. Okay, means you don't really see this. We're so used to these kind of questions. This is a very routine question actually. Okay, it just involves a lot of complicated maths. This one is a non-routine question that involves like the not even a more cakap complicated. It's not even simple maths. It's like too simple maths. Okay, seriously. Okay, so I like these kind of questions because actually they don't test really much in terms of skill. They test more in terms of your understanding. Okay, so if you understand that the sum of all momentum vectors is zero, then you know when you plus everything, it should equal to zero. Therefore, whatever you get for the I equals to zero, whatever you get for the J equals to zero. You can find every component in itself. Okay? All right, one last question. Okay, is this the last? Yeah, this is the last. Okay, one last question, and then we're going to be done. And I just want to show this lah. Okay, this one actually I don't have to do, but you can. Okay, the unit vector in direction of OP. Okay, OP. Now you're given PQ, OQ, RS. Okay, think about it. If I'm gonna go OP, and since I have PQ and OQ, so obviously OP will be OQ plus QP. Okay, OQ is 1 and 2. QP is the balik of this. So it's plus 3 and minus 5. Okay, so once you get the resultant vector, then you find the unit vector. Find the magnitude, divide by the magnitude. Okay, always the same step. Okay, so this one I won't do. This one, the value of K, if RS is parallel to PQ. Kalau ini dan ini parallel, okay, let's do this. If it is parallel, I'm going to use different letters. Okay, I'm going to use HRS, okay, equals to MPQ. I don't want to use K because there's a K inside there already. Okay. Now, if it is parallel, we always start with these two letters. HRS equals to MPQ. So HRS is H and then K minus 2 and K. Okay, equals to M minus 3 and 5. Okay. Then we do the same thing like we did in the previous question. Okay, find the value of H over K. H over M in this case. Find the value of H over M. Okay, and then substitute it in. Okay, you should be able to answer. This is actually pretty simple. This answer is, the answer is 5 over 4. Okay, the answer for this question is 5 over 4. This is 1 over 5. And this one is 4 and minus 3. 4 and minus 3. Okay, this one is dalam bentuk matrix lah. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so I want to show this last question because I want to end this session just to show you that this is actually a very popular type of paper 1 question. Kalau kau tengok sebelum ini kan, okay, if you look at the beginning, okay, I noticed that these questions over here, there are how many? 10 sets but minus 2. So there's 19 questions altogether. If you do all these 19 questions, right, termasuk dalam all the ones that we've already started, okay, if you do all these 19 questions, you will notice that there's a certain pattern, okay, to these paper 1 questions. They don't really question that very high level yet. Okay, wait till we go to the paper 2. The paper 2 is a bit more difficult. Okay, but actually the most difficult okay, I don't know which is the most difficult for you. Maybe for you, some of is this, okay, or maybe for you, if it were me, I would say that the most complicated one is this. This is very complicated because there's not really there's a lot of information given, but the question is so vague. Express M in terms of N, macam tu, but it doesn't tell you how to solve the question. Okay, and sometimes it can be as simple as something like this. Okay, it is non-routine, but it's actually very simple. Or even more simpler is like this. Okay, so do a lot of practices. Try to finish up all the 19 questions that I gave in the beginning. Okay, okay, sorry. Okay, try to do all the 19 questions that I gave in the beginning, and then we'll see how it goes. Okay, if you have any questions, you have anything that you don't understand, please do not hesitate to ask me. Okay, just message me and ask me, how do I get this question? How do I get this answer and everything? And then I will listen. Okay, I will post the answers in your groups. Okay, I will write down the answers in the group so that you can refer. If you have any questions, please ask me over WhatsApp or over Telegram. Okay, so I think that's all for today. Okay, I really hope that you all can please answer these questions in your module. Okay, and for those of you who are watching this after the live stream, especially those who are in S2, okay, please also answer these questions before our session on Friday. Okay, because once Friday hits, then we are going to be doing something else. All right, I think that's it for today. Thanks everyone uh, for staying with us. It's a very small crowd today. Okay, but it's okay. We're still going to continue anyway, and this video is going to be on YouTube. Okay, in case you want to refer to it anytime. All right. Have a good day, everyone. Okay, take care. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Bye.